All right, everybody, welcome to Drew Wanna Know. This is a podcast about, just some rant stuff, some talk about creativity, movies, TV, stand-up, writing, all that kind of stuff, all the fun creative things that we're doing, general creative processes and dealing with emotions due to creativity, finding some things maybe I didn't know about stuff, and I think it's going to be a fun time, and this is this week's episode, so check it out. We'll see you then.
Drew, wanna know.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Drew Wanna Know, a new podcast about ranting, creative processing, stand-up, film, TV, kind of whatever's going on, We're going to have a fun time. If you guys like that kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe and everything like that. So let's get going with today's topics. One, I saw an ad for, there's a new Sprite product out. It's called Sprite Tea. And I would like to know why. Why is anyone doing this? It seems like a weird move for Sprite. Sprite's just like, listen, no one wanted to drink Sprite, so let's add tea into it because people like tea. And it feels like a weird move. They showed a picture of it on like a billboard, and it was odd because it was, it looked like pee, and I grew up in the '90s where, there's that movie Little Monsters. I don't know if you've all seen it, but it's about, the guy from the Wonder Years has like a bully friend monster from under his bed. And I remember the one prank in it is that the one monster pees in this kid's like apple juice, which in retrospect, it's like not a good prank. It is a good prank. It's funny, but it's not great now, I guess. But I'm just wary of anything of that color for life. Like that scarred me for life, that specific thing. It was just like they just kind of, I stayed away from apple juice my whole life because of that movie. And now they're just making Sprite that. And I just don't understand what the point of this is. They're trying to write, I don't want Sprite. I don't want tea. I don't want any of that. It just seems super unappealing to me, and I'm not sure why. And it should stop, to be honest. And I don't know. We're having a good time. I feel like just from a creative standpoint of just like I do stand up and all that kind of stuff, and trying to find the time to be creative is tough. And it's like a thing that we kind of all deal with, as people who are creative. Is just like finding the time in times of that, doing stuff that doesn't necessarily make you money, right? Like I really want to concentrate on writing, do all that kind of stuff, but I have to pay bills. We got a wedding coming up. There's just a lot of stress but you try to find little moments, right? But it's tough sometimes because you look at other people that have it, which is not great. Like I feel like we say it all the time. It's not good to look at other people and what they're doing, but honestly, I look what other people are doing all the time, and it's frustrating because I see them doing stuff and succeeding and doing all this stuff, and I'm proud. I'm happy for my friends and all that kind of stuff. But I do wish I had more time to focus on stuff. So I don't know. It's an ongoing conversation of just like, trying to do as much as you can, and, do the whole quantity equals quality type thing where you have to do a lot, you have to do a bunch of things, to succeed. And I feel like that is something that I'm working at better and getting it better. And I just like to know what do you guys do? Is there stuff that you guys do to help you to be more creative in the moment and like find those times where you get to be creative, which I think is, it's hard. It's a hard thing, right? It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to even kind of find the time to do, and that's always rough in the sense that you want to do it and you want to have the time to do it, and you want to have the time where you feel like I have some days I only have 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes to write and stuff. And that's very frustrating in the sense that I want to write longer, and it's like you get into like a little bit of a groove, and then you're like, oh, cool, it's time to stop. that's great, and go back to something that's really frustrating. I don't know. It's been a lot, and world's different. World's changing. Um, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of like point and shoot cameras now again, like the power shots, like those things again coming back. Is that like a new thing? I think it's like a new thing that's coming out. It's a weird thing because our phones are point and shoot cameras. Um, yeah, they don't have the lens that some people do, that the power shots have, but you know it's like a look, I guess. But it's also just like I really just see them at concerts and stuff like that. And honestly, like I don't think I've ever taken a photo of a concert that I looked at later, and liked. I feel like every photo I take, I'm like, oh, it's not as cool as I thought I was gonna be. And I feel like we're just making new things to fill up hard drives with. And I don't know how great that is. I guess it's a sense of community. You're with your friends, you're taking photos. That's kind of cool. But like maybe we just have a camera that doesn't save any of your photos. It just has the moment you're like, look at us. We're having fun. And or maybe it saves like you're allowed to save one photo. So that way you don't have as much. I think that should be a thing out there of just people trying to show their friends, be like, hey, look, we were at a concert. Just I want to prove to you I was at a concert yesterday. I think it's really like a big part of it, but it's just also a community thing, I guess. But I don't know. I just feel like you get the same thing for your phone, and now you have to carry that around. I feel like I just have so much stuff to carry. Like I don't know if you guys feel this, but as an adult, I feel like I just now have way too much stuff I need to carry around with me all the time. Like I miss the only thing I miss about being a kid is my pocket freedom. It's just like I have 4 or 5 different things in my pockets all the time, at the point where it's like jabbing me in the thigh, and in the pants area, and just like it's just or the back of like the back pockets are filled now with like notebooks and stuff like that, and I just miss having just absolute freedom. Like that's why like when you see women that find to have pockets, besides the fact that they have pockets, which is like also like a big thing for women because like a lot of places don't have pockets. I feel like you gotta, they're just like excited that they can put their hands and move it around. So just because like I don't have room. I have pockets, and I don't have room to put any new more stuff in there. Like I have to bring a backpack with me. I don't want to do that all the time. But I hate carrying stuff in my hands. I want my hands free for my cool hand gestures and stuff like that. I just want that kind of stuff to happen. And it's just, I just can't justify bringing another camera on top of my phone camera with me, for a concert that I'm going to take essentially the same photo with. It's a little frustrating to watch and just like not understand why. And maybe it's it's not for me, Maybe that's it. But I'm not gonna do it. I see a lot of people do it, and I worry about their space that they have to carry things. They have too much stuff to keep track of. Keys, phone, now your power shot. It's just like it's too much. I think it might be a little too much. Let's check the old phone. What do we got? We got someone calling. Oh, yeah. This is how it goes, folks. It's you get a text out of nowhere for a show, and you got to do it right away. 'Cause that's what it is. That's where I'm at, which is good. I get shows, which is awesome. And you're always trying to figure out how to do more, right? You're always trying to figure out how to do more and like get more out there. And I just think it's I don't always know where to go with that. Like I don't know how to like ask for stuff. I don't know. I feel like there's some people that have no problem asking, and I'm so jealous of that, right? So many people just get to ask, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to bug anybody. That's my mentality. Maybe I gotta stop doing that as much, but I don't know. I put myself out there, actually ask for what I want. It was just funny because I found out recently that I am a people pleaser, right? I please people, right? I always try to do that, and I think probably that's a little bit of what that is, right? Not being able to ask what I want, ask for stuff like that, or like go out of my way. And I realized that I'm this way because I want to I was playing Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know if you it's the Harry Potter like free roaming game, right? And I realized that I was people pleasing like NPCs, like the non-playable characters, like the people you get missions from and stuff. And I realized in the middle of it, I was just like, because they always ask for a reward, and they're like, "Oh yeah. You want to like you can ask for a reward as your thing, as your like choose your own adventure." And these, and I remember just going, they're gonna get mad at me if I ask for a reward. Like they're hanging out here at the farm. There's no reason for me to be greedy like that. And I'm like, they're gonna get mad if they're gonna say, "Oh, well, I guess sure if you really want that kind of thing." And then I did it, and they're like, "Of course you are. You did a bunch of work." And I was like, "Wow, I can't ask for what I want." So I feel like I'm learning that step little by little, but it is tough, like right, because it's like you don't want to bug anybody. And I feel like that's what like when I started stand up, like that's like a big thing I noticed. Like I just noticed a lot of people bugging a lot of people, and I just remember thinking that looks annoying. I don't want that. And or I don't want to do that, right? I would see people go up to the host and just be like, "What's my time? What's my spot? What are we doing here?" And I'm just like, it just looks annoying. And I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be someone who just bugs someone to death. And one time, I didn't bug someone and they forgot that I was on the show. So you should bug a little bit. You should say, "Hey, I'm here." Should be a uh, you know, should probably be in the general thing. But like, I don't know. I still feel that way. I get bugged all the time. It's everyone constantly asks what's your spot. And if you're like when you're hosting, you're already doing a lot. Like the host will tell you. They're gonna give you a heads up on what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So it's just, it's a delicate balance, I guess. Because I think you have to be somewhat annoying. And I think the people who get stuff are people who bug. And I feel like I want to do that more and I have to do that more, right? Got to come through it to figure out what's going on. Just try to navigate, not be annoying, because it's like if you don't ask, then you're not going to get, and then you're not going to really push yourself in a place where it's supposed to go and everything like that. I don't know. There's just a lot to like deconstruct there, right? And just figure out what is what, figuring out navigating. And it's like it's annoying because it's not like a point A to point B like thing like most jobs. Like you work hard, you get like a promotion, you slowly go up, all that kind of stuff. It's very like depending on who you know. And like the thing is, I feel like I just constantly put myself in these places that are like this, that it's like, oh yeah, there's not like one way to get to some place. And you're like, oh cool, I'm glad that I have to work a lot more for this. I feel like I just got almost torture myself a lot doing that. And it's just, it's weird. It's a weird situation, but it's what I chose and what I like doing, and I can't help it that I like doing it. So that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, I don't know. I think this podcast is gonna be fun. Hopefully it's short and sweet each time. Kind of the point, just some general rants of different things, and talk about some movies, and we're gonna do some interviews here from time to time too. So make sure you subscribe, follow us as you will. And I think it's great. You can follow me at DRU Comedy on all the platforms and all that kind of stuff. I'll put stand-up clips there. I have some other stuff coming up out of the pipe, hopefully. Yeah, I think it's going to be very good, and it's going to be a fun ride. I'm excited about trying it and doing it more, and I feel already great about this first episode that we're going to do. So, yeah, if you liked it and you've been this far, keep following along, subscribe, and we'll hit your comments in the back. If there's anything you want to talk about creatively, things you struggle with, we'll talk about that too. And there's a lot to talk about with that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So I've been Drew Beekler, and that's for Drew Want to Know. We'll see you all next time.
Drew, wanna